Hello you guys, and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah, and you might tell I'm in a different location and I have a special guest with me. I'm joined today by Ashlynne Eaton, and I'm just so thrilled to have you. We're doing a collaboration together. I'm not sure if you maybe just came over from the video on her channel. This one is also one of those parts. I'm sure many of you already know about Ashlynne, but do you want to give us a quick little rundown or summary about your channel?
Yeah, totally. So I have been doing YouTube for like 2 years now. And I talk a lot about minimalism and intentional living. I kind of walk people through the decluttering process, a lot of similar stuff to what you talk about on your channel. And yeah, I absolutely love it. My passion is really just for helping people to slow down, think through what they're doing and why, whether that's what they're keeping in their home, what they're getting rid of their home, what they're bringing into their life, and really just being able to simplify and minimize your life, I guess. I'm a huge believer in slow living, and it's something that I try to incorporate into all my videos.
I love that. And it was just really exciting when Jake and I were planning out our road trip and we realized we'd be going through North Carolina. I was like, I should see if she wants to do a video together. So this is very exciting. And in today's video, we have put together a list of 15 different minimalism hacks for you. In this video, we'll be sharing 8 of them. And then in Ashlynne's video, she's got the other 7. So you get 15 minimalism hacks, all to help you live more simply.
Yes.
Shall we jump in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. For the first hack for this video, wait 24 hours before you purchase something. This is essential. Oftentimes we purchase things on impulse, and that's usually when we make those spending regrets. We really like the way a certain item felt or looked in the store, depending on what it is, or even online. It's so convenient to make a purchase and not really think it through right away. But if we can give ourselves a little more time, I find the 24-hour window is a great chance to really think about it, pros and cons. I love making pro and con lists if it's a bigger purchase and like really doing the research.
Totally.
Then you're going to make a much more informed and intentional decision, which will ultimately lead to spending less, typically, and getting better items when you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hilarious because I've got like the perfect example of why it's so important. Literally last week, Christopher and I almost adopted a dog.
Oh my goodness.
We found this dog on Wednesday, and I was just, I really want a dog. So I was just like looking at, you know, some puppies that were available for adoption. And there was this beautiful Samoyed puppy, and my heart just melted when I saw this thing. And it had like a really short adoption window there where it would have had to literally have been adopted that night.
Oh my goodness.
And so Christopher and I like, whoa, do we like get a dog? We both love this thing. It's so cute. Should we actually go through with this? Which, I mean, obviously this is a little bit more important of a decision than your typical impulse purchase.
That's huge. I was thinking like a piece of like a clothing item.
Right? But it was still the same principle where we like sit down and we think about it and we're like, no, you know what, this 6-hour window that we have to decide whether or not to adopt a dog is too short for us to really be able to evaluate all of the implications of that.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's the right decision for us now. And so it was just all these decisions that we had to make and really think through, like, is this the right breed of dog for us? Is this the right time for us to adopt a dog? Is this something that we have the time to really dedicate to caring for a dog in a responsible way?
Yeah.
And so it was one of those, when we thought about all of these questions, we realized that like, we don't have the capacity to make a decision in that short amount of a time.
Absolutely.
And it's just like important, whether it's something as significant as a dog or something as insignificant as like a lamp. Like, you have to think about the fact that like every purchase you make has an implication on your home and your life, whether that's large or small. And it's really important to just like wait on things to make sure that whether it's a cute puppy or a good looking lamp, that like you're not making a decision based on impulse, and that you're actually able to like think it through and really weigh the implications of that decision.
Absolutely. Amazing. And if you do want to get a dog in the future, like having this process of thinking through things, I'm sure will help you, you know, in those future decisions, because you've been like weighing it on your mind.
Exactly. I can totally see me adopting a dog, you know, 6 months, a year down the road. But I think it's good for us to have that time, especially for a decision that important and without like many years of implication in your life afterwards.
Absolutely.
To like really sit down and like think about, okay, what exactly are we looking for from this situation? And just like talking that through, and I guess just like evaluating any purchase that you make.
For sure.
Okay, so the second tip is to decide on a color palette and stick to it. And this can be for your closet or your home. I feel like it's super applicable in either situation. I know personally, I definitely have a color palette though when it comes to my closet, and it makes trying to mix and match things so much easier. You get a lot more versatility out of your wardrobe when you're able to really, I guess, just have things that go with each other. And so if you have a basic set of neutrals and maybe an accent color or two, whether that's in your home or your wardrobe, it really just makes it so that everything goes with each other. And that's a huge part of minimalism, is just being able to do more with less. And so having a color palette is really huge for that.
Absolutely. And that transitions perfectly into the next hack about mixing and matching your clothing items, or even beyond clothing items, really anything in your space. You can use the color palette to help you do that, or it can also be based upon like the uses of those items and versatility, just to make it a lot easier for yourself. You don't actually have to have that much. And of course too, you can still have fun, colorful pieces. It doesn't mean it has to be a white and black lifestyle. I mean, I love, pops of color, and I love having certain, pieces in my wardrobe that are a little bit more bold and colorful, but it's all about balancing them and knowing what pairs well. You don't want to have an individual piece that needs other accessories specifically to wear with that one item, or if it's for decor, to have like complementary colors or whatever it is for that item. So making sure everything is mix and matchable.
Yeah. I feel like having things that are like you can dress up and dress down, especially in your closet, I feel like that's one way of being able to mix and match items a lot easier. If you've got that like, okay, I can elevate this outfit or I can make it really casual, makes it so that you're able to mix and match those pieces a lot easier.
For sure, absolutely.
So tip number 4 is to borrow rather than buy. And this was one that I feel like we don't really think about, especially in the American culture. We have this idea of like we should own everything that we have, where in reality, I feel like oftentimes borrowing things is completely the way to go. And you can take this in the sense of like you can borrow something from a friend or a family member, whether that's a piece of clothing. I know I've got 3 sisters who are relatively the same size as me, so we're trading closets all the time. But like I think also too, you can also apply this to like thinking about things like ride sharing platforms or even like dog walking services. Like if you're able to share something or to borrow something, whether that's a car or a piece of clothing, it's a fantastic way to really just reduce the amount of things that you need to own. I think that particularly one that I've used this for is when I need a dress to attend a wedding.
Oh,
I have 100% borrowed several dresses from different people to just be able to have something nice to wear to a wedding. It really works a lot better than having to actually go and physically buy something.
Absolutely, and I think entertainment's a really great example too of this. You don't have to go buy the book or buy the movie. We have options to be able to obviously check it out from a library, or you can borrow it from a friend, or even like with streaming services too, we don't actually have to own things anymore to be able to enjoy them. So that is just a really lucky option that we have these days.
I'm a huge believer in the Christopher and I own 3 DVDs and they're the Lord of the Rings. That's it. And it's just so much easier when you don't actually have to have those physical things just kind of like cluttering up your space. Same thing too for music. I don't think I own a single CD anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I even can play a CD anywhere. I don't have a CD.
My computer doesn't have the like...
Yeah, technology's changing. Hack number 5 is all about reducing freebies and preventing them from coming into our space. It can definitely be difficult. There's a lot of different organizations that try to give you free stuff, and usually when we break it down, it's for promotional purposes.
Almost always.
And do you actually need that item? Probably not. Like I definitely appreciate a free sample in a grocery store, like something consumable right there, that I can get behind. But when it's junky stuff that I really don't need, even though it might feel a little uncomfortable at first saying no, if you're firm about it and don't bring those into your space, then it's one less thing, or many fewer things that you don't have to declutter in the future. Because is it useful? Probably not. And a lot of it's just really wasteful stuff too, like little plasticky,
yeah, a lot of it is these little trinkets that you're never actually going to use in your regular life. They're just gonna sit somewhere collecting dust, and so it's totally not worth it.
Or like in a junk drawer.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. They're like, it's always those like little like squishy like stress ball things. I've never used one of those in my life, but I feel like companies are always trying to give those away.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next one is to use multi-purpose items, and this once again can apply to a lot of different things. I've recently started using multi-purpose makeup products, so I can have one, little chapstick thing that I can use as blush, or I can use as lipstick, and I think that's really useful. But even too, if you're considering like larger purposes can be multi-purpose, like instead of buying a video recorder and a camera, you can just find a camera that records good video and have one item instead of two. Same thing goes for cleaning products, I feel like. There are so many different, I guess, just kind of like items that you really don't need multiples of it. And you can probably find one thing that will serve multiple purposes for you. So it's just like about being creative and figuring out, okay, what's one item that I can use that can serve a lot of different purposes in my life.
Absolutely. And I know for me, just hearing this tip, it's like the Instant Pot, because I know originally I had slow cooker, rice cooker, various other different devices. We didn't have a pressure cooker before, but when I got the Instant Pot, I realized I didn't need all those other things. I could just use that one tool, and it obviously reduced a lot of kitchen clutter in cabinets, but also it's just easier to only have to use the one piece of cooking equipment.
I love that idea of the Instant Pot. That's totally something. Like, I've got a slow cooker and a rice cooker. Could maybe combine into one.
Absolutely, it's really good.
Yeah.
Hack number 7 is to focus on having one key focal point or centerpiece rather than a lot of little elements. And this is something we can apply to a lot of different aspects. I was thinking a little bit more from the decorative standpoint. If you want to really have one key focal point in a room and then not have to focus on filling every nook and cranny with smaller aspects of it. But I think in life too, there's other ways we could apply this where you prioritize one thing, or you have one thing be the standout, and you don't have to focus as much on having all these little different parts to it.
I think of it even in terms of like your closet. If you have like one piece that's like maybe a little bit fancier, a little bit nicer, has a little bit more interest or color, and then you can combine basics for the rest of your wardrobe. And that's a way of like having like the attention drawn to one thing, and being able to have everything else like a little bit more simple and streamlined.
I love that. So you're so good with all the like fashion advice and fashion tips. I'm like, man, this is really helpful. Fashion's never been my strong suit. But
honestly, it's just like a little bit of a passion of mine. I feel like it's something as I've gotten older, I like grow a little bit more interested in.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Great, and so the last one is to stop shopping sales. And I know that I definitely used to be that person who, so side story, I used to work at Kohl's, the department store, where I had the employee discount, plus like I could, if I timed my sales right, essentially get like 65% off of anything in the store.
Wow.
I would just like buy all these unnecessary things because it was so cheap. And as I kind of get older and I started getting into minimalism, I started to realize like, oh no, I'm just buying things that I'm never actually going to use with the justification that it's on sale. I feel like a lot of people will do this for more expensive items. So if it's like a brand that they like, but they don't normally, it's not normally in their price range, they'll be like, oh, I'll buy this item that I probably wouldn't have bought at full price because it's on sale. Absolutely. I feel like sales are just something that tempts a lot of us, but definitely there's a lot of dangers in consistently shopping sales, and by stopping that, you're really going to be able to bring a lot less into your life and just buy things with a lot more intention.
And one of the quotes, I don't remember exactly who said it, but basically if you don't buy something, then it's like you're saving 100% of the money, and you know that can obviously be allocated towards other things. And of course, sales aren't evil. There are certain items that I've really reflected about and knew it was an important purchase.
Totally.
And when it did go on sale, then I was able to take advantage of that. But again, when we focus on that intentionally, it's better than the mindless, like, oh, it's a bargain, so I bought it.
I think that I love the idea of if you'd be willing to pay full price for it, it's okay to buy something on sale. But if you wouldn't be willing to pay full price for it, then you shouldn't be buying it, because chances are it's not actually going to add true value to your life.
I love that strategy. That's awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out these 8 minimalism hacks. But if you want to get the full complete list, we've got 7 more awesome ideas over on Ashlynne's channel. So I'm going to actually link that below, as well as in the end card of this video. But if you haven't already checked out Ashlynne's channel, please do subscribe as well. She makes amazing videos every week about minimalism and simple living. So I hope you'll do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you guys. Bye.